Hey there, it's Books and Big Hair, and I have a literary agent. So first off, hello, I have not been on this channel in like so long. Thank you for still subscribing and commenting and watching my videos while I was not on this channel, and hello to all of my new subscribers. I'm India and this is my channel, Books and Big Hair. I have a literary agent now, and it is like so exciting. It's something I've been working for so long. If you've been following me for a while, about 2 years ago I posted my first writing video, which was called I'm Writing a Novel. I think that was like my first video or one of my first, and I have like a bunch of other writing videos that I've made since then, and that was like the first time I was like, you know, ever since I was a little girl I've wanted to be an author, and that was like the perfect time in my life to start. I was freelancing and I just had so much time on my hands to write, so that was like the first novel I ever wrote, and I queried it and everything, and I did even get some manuscript requests from agents. If you want to be traditionally published, you try to find a literary agent, and the way that you go about doing that is after you finish your manuscript, you know, get it like as tight and as polished as you can, you start querying it out like a letter saying, you know, telling what your novel is about to different agents. Sometimes you send pages of your manuscript along with it. If they like it, they'll email you back and say, hey, we would like to read a little bit more, maybe like 50 or so pages. And then if they like that, they'll say, hey, can I read the whole thing? And if they like the whole thing and they feel like you two could work together really well, they'll reach out to you and offer you representation. And the literary agent kind of works on your behalf to get your novel out there. If you're trying to be traditionally published, there really is no way around having an agent, because a lot of editors from publishing companies don't accept unagented submissions. I do actually have a video on traditional versus self-publishing, and in that video I kind of talk about the pros and cons of traditional versus self-publishing, and I talk about how I just want to do traditional publishing. So I queried that first novel, and I even got some full requests, but I just never landed an agent with that one. You know, they were saying it was good, but it wasn't for them, or it needs work. I mean, it was like my first like completed novel, so it was a bummer, but I understood. Then the second novel, I really felt like I really believed in that novel, even more than the first one, and I queried it for a really long time because I believed in it so much. But there's just so many different factors with that novel. Hopefully it's something I can revisit again one day, because I really did love it. But I did get a lot of full requests off that one, even more than the first one. But I could not find an agent that wanted to represent me based off that novel at that time. So the third novel, the one that I've been talking about with my most recent writing updates, this is kind of a story that I've been writing in my head for months. Like, I was still writing it in my head when I was living in South Carolina. I'm in New York now. So it was something I was writing in my head ever since then, because it started off as a short story. And as I was writing it as a short story, I was like, this is good, but I feel like it could be a lot better with the novel, because there's so much backstory I want to add and all this kind of stuff. So I started writing it, and like I told you guys, it was really hard for me to write this novel. Like, you know, I'm trying to get adjusted to a new job, a new city, all that kind of stuff. I work more hours and I devote more of my day to work, if that makes sense. When I was writing my second novel, I had Fridays off, and I could really make my own schedule as long as I hit a certain amount of hours per week. But this job is like, it's still pretty flexible, but commute is way longer. It's like more work during the day, you know, stuff like that. So it was really kind of challenging for me to really dive into this novel, as I talked about in a couple of my writing updates. But I did it. I was like, you know what, people write with day jobs all the time, and you know, I can do this. It's just a matter of like scheduling. And I took out like social media for a while, like after work, and I worked really late some nights, just writing and stuff like that, and weekends. I don't go out a lot anyway, so Saturday mornings or like Sundays, like at the church or whatever, I would just like write or whatever. Specifically how I got my literary agent for this novel. So I tweeted something a few months ago. It was something along the lines of, I'm working on a coming of age YA story about black girl friendships in the South. Watch this space. Something like that. And I was just tweeting it because I was just so excited about it, and I wanted to talk about the novel so badly, but it just wasn't finished yet, so I just kind of put that out there. And it was something to like hold myself accountable and like maybe find support, or other people who are writing novels and I can support them, something like that. But what ended up happening was agents and even some editors responded to that tweet. Like, agents and editors were like, please send this to me when you're finished or when you feel like it's ready. And that is not at all what I was expecting from just that tweet. But I was just like, okay, like this is the motivation I need to crank this novel out. And I was just so excited, and it's so crazy because that morning I was like kind of not down, but I was kind of like confused because I was just in such like a big writing funk. Like I had a little bit of writer's block and stuff, and I literally that morning I prayed and I was like, I need a sign that I'm supposed to write books, like, because I just need like something. And literally that happened the same day. So I was like, okay, this is the sign I needed. Like, I'm so pumped, I'm so ready. That's why I haven't been doing like wrap-up videos on this channel in like a few months, because since the last wrap-up video I did, which was like in April, I've only read 2 books because I've been devoting so much time to writing. When I finally felt like it was ready, and I didn't even come on this channel and say, okay guys, the novel is ready, I'm about to send it to agents and stuff like that. Like, I didn't even have time to do that. So I just sent it to the agents that tweeted me first, and I was gonna be like my kind of introduction to querying this novel. In my head I was like, I'm going to query the agents that I really wanted to query who responded to that tweet, because like a few of those agents are like thebomb.com, and one of those agents is like one of my dream agents. So I was like, I'm gonna send it to them first, and then after I hear back from them, if nothing comes from that, then I'll just start querying this manuscript. And this is around the time where a lot of the pitch contests were starting, like hashtag DVPit, hashtag PitMad, all of those I think were starting around this time. So yeah, I'll be disappointed if like they don't like this, but all these pitch contests are coming up. There are so many agents I can query. Like, I'm ready for this novel, I'm ready to get it out into the world. Like, yeah, literally after this moment, after I query the agents, everything else happens so fast. And it's so funny because I feel like writing and getting things published in general, it's like long periods of waiting and just like nothing happening, and then all of a sudden like things happen like that. So then after I queried the agents, the top 2 agents that I was really looking for, they both offered me representation. So that wasn't even anything I was expecting. I talked to my boyfriend, I talked to my mom, I talked to my best friend. Like, I wrote pros and cons lists. Like, I stalked them, like all their websites, all of their clients. I even talked to some of their clients. Like, I looked at so much stuff. Like, this is happening during like the week too, and it was like kind of a busy work week for me as well. It was one of the most busiest weeks that I've had in New York, and every day feels so busy and so hectic in New York. So that's like saying something. So I wrote so many lists, like I prayed. I was like, I just need to sleep on, like there were just so many things. I talked to my mentor and she gave me her insight, and I was just like, I have to do what's right for me, what feels right for me. And I didn't feel like I could go wrong either way because they're both amazing. I felt like whatever choice I made, I would be like, okay, but I needed to think about what would work for me better long term, and just like there's so many different factors. Maybe I can make another video about that. There's so many different factors in choosing a literary agent when you have more than one to choose from. And so I say all that to say that I am represented by Holly Root of Root Literary, and I am so pumped because Holly Root represents Victoria Schwab, and that's all I need to say. It just made so much sense because she also represents Rachel Hawkins, who wrote Rebel Belle. And if you have been following me from the beginning, you know Rebel Belle is the first book I've ever reviewed on this channel. It's the book that propelled me into Booktube because I loved it so much and I wanted to talk about it with people so badly. I just met Victoria Schwab last year, and I learned so much about writing from her at Madcap Retreats. So like, this time last year I was meeting Victoria Schwab, learning about like her writing craft, her writing routine, all that kind of stuff. And now this year we have the same agent. It's like so crazy. So of course I'm like so excited, and I cannot wait to share more writing updates with you guys. And I think I'm going to start doing more writing videos. One video I have been thinking about doing for a long time is how to jump into freelance writing. If you guys have any more suggestions for videos that I should make, writing related or just like book related, of course, just let me know. But yes, I definitely want to do more writing videos, and of course I'm going to keep you guys updated with these writing updates. And of course I'm doing the obligatory, I hate that word, obligatory how I got my agent blog post. If you go back to like your favorite authors, how I got my agent blog post, it's like a post telling how to get their agent, and there are like so many gifts in it. It's like kind of like a tradition to make your how I got my agent post with a whole bunch of gifts. I'm gonna do that, and in that post I'm going to like get more in depth of like numbers, like how many times I've actually queried any novel before I got an agent, and how many manuscripts. And if I have that done by the time this video goes up, I'll definitely link it down below. Like, this is proof that you feel like no agent is ever gonna read your query, ever gonna read your manuscript or whatever. Like, it can happen. It totally can happen. Just keep writing. If you're writing that manuscript right now, keep writing. I just want to thank you guys for your support, because so many of us are writers here on Booktube. I just want us to continue to support each other. So if you're writing a novel, or if you're writing anything right now, even if you're thinking about writing a novel, just like leave it in the comments so we can all like kind of support each other in our writing journey. Writing is fun, but it's also hard. So let's continue to support each other. And I actually didn't write down any notes or anything before I turn on the camera. So if I missed something, let me know. Leave a comment down below, because I'm just like rambling. I didn't like do notes or anything. So yes, thank you guys for tuning into my channel, and I will talk to you in my next video. Bye.